Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher, and I'm back with Flosstube number 53. Today is Friday, September 13th, 2024. Hope you're not superstitious, that you'll stick around with me even though it's unlucky Friday 13th. So I'm so pleased. What did it say? I just checked my statistics and I got another 100 plus subscribers last month. So I thank you so much. If you're new, please stay. And if you've just been watching and not subscribed, please subscribe. I have a goal of getting to 5K by the end of the year, and I'd love to do another celebration. We just finished the 4K celebration, and we're moving on to the next one. So help me out and subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much. And all my loyal subscribers, I'm so appreciating the comments I get and questions, and it's just wonderful. I love having a virtual stitching community, as well as the people I stitch with in person. Okay, I have lots to show today. I have FFOs, fully finished objects. I have one new start. I have sampler September progress. I'm looking at my notes. I'm going to do a kitted up samplers parade. I'm going to give the results of the 4K celebration share, and then we'll get to quilts at the end. So settle down, get comfortable, and here we go. Now, what have I done in the last 2 weeks? I stitched every day, and I'm still dividing my day between machine stitching and hand stitching. So I spend time with my machines in the morning, whether it's my domestic or my long arm. And then at noon, I switch over and go to my stitchy chair and stitch for the afternoon. Now, I'm really happy with the balance. While it's really cutting down on my time on cross stitch, and I'm not making as fast progress as I would like, but I'm getting back into my quilting, and I'm so happy to be doing that again. I have so many projects. I have things started, things in the lineup ready to get started. I have a couple things on my shelf saying, come on, get me down, get me on that long arm, get it done. So lots of things in action here. I also, I did 2 Zoom stitch meetups with stitching friends. That was so much fun. And I had an in-person sewing day with Central Kentucky Stitchers, and that's always great. And we had a new visitor come, or I hope she's gonna be a member, but she stopped by and brought beautiful, beautiful work. It was great to see you, Donna. Thanks for coming. I got some questions in the last video, so we'll start there. One was someone asked me, now I'm sorry about my nose. The state flower in Kentucky is the goldenrod. So I'm unaware of my sniffing, and so I apologize. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay. Someone asked me if I would show my lacing method, and you noticed in the interim I put up a video showing my prep for how I take my work to my framer, what I do before I take it, and then when I come home with the acid-free foam board cut, then how I lace. The comments were very positive. I'm glad you found it useful. And if you're an old veteran to lacing, you probably didn't even watch it, and that's fine. This was in response to 2 specific questions about how I get ready for going to the framer and how I do my lacing. So that's what that was about. I was also asked if I would explain my stitchy mat. Now, last time I showed my stitchy mat because one of our Central Kentucky stitchers had designed a little design for us, and I decided to put it on my stitchy mat. And I told you at the time I had forgotten to do the outline of the state of Kentucky, and I had. But I went back and used a sharp needle and got through because it was backed with SF-104, and I got it successfully completed. So now it's completed. Now, the question about the stitchy mat, what do you do with the stitchy mat? When I go to a retreat or when I go to a stitch day, I take my stitch mat and lay it down in front of me, and that shows me, okay, keep your stuff in this area, because, you know, otherwise I'm kind of all spread out and it's unfair to everyone else. So it's just, and it's kind of my personality, but it's a way for me to remember, okay, keep your stuff pulled in here and don't spread out all over the place. So that's what a stitchy mat is. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher has a tutorial up, and I think she has put pockets on hers, and pockets that even would dangle down the side of the table, so you could put things in that I'm just very simple, and it's kind of the size of a placemat. And I just, you know, did the colors I wanted, colors I liked that match my other stitchy bag that I keep my doodads in. And I just, you know, simply quilted it around the blocks. That's all I did. And then I sewed on the patch with a tiny little zigzag, and it's just very simple. So you can go complicated, or you can go complicated, fancy, or just go plain like me. So that's the response to the stitchy mat. And then, not as a question, but as a follow-up, I showed my state fair finishes last time, and one of my viewers shared with me hers. Let me pop this up. And Kathleen is from New York. She's a longtime subscriber. I recognize her handle when she makes a comment. I always know who that is. I appreciate that so much. And she went on a cruise with Jean Farish. And Jean Farish always designs a piece. I'm going to try to show this. I kept thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Because I have my notes on my computer. But the computer will give the biggest picture. Okay. She designed that piece specific to the cruise, and Kathleen stitched it. Now let me show you her. Hang on. Sorry. I'm not very facile with technology, as you will have noticed. Okay. And she entered it in the state fair and got a blue ribbon. Congratulations, Kathleen. It's beautiful stitching. Kathleen personalized it with her friend's name. It's wonderful. Thank you, Kathleen, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Okay, now let me get back to my notes. Okay, and plug back my computer so I don't go out of power. Okay, so that's kind of some of the upfront administrivia, as we say. I have some fully finished to show you. Mason jar lineup you haven't seen for a while because it was sitting at the framers waiting for the frame I had chosen to get back in stock so they could make the frame. It took a while. I knew it would take a while. They said it would take a while, but it hadn't disappeared. It would just take a while to get it back, and it came back, and I am so thrilled. I could not be more thrilled with it. Can you see the texture up here? It's slightly textured, but it's not real bumpy, but I just love the texture and that little black line. Now, when I looked at the frames, I thought I would like to have a white frame with a narrow mat that would pick up one of the colors in here. But their white frames are not white, they're creamy white, and this Aida is absolutely white. The wooden frame pieces didn't look right with it, so this was the perfect choice, and I was so happy that I waited for it and didn't wuss out and say, oh, I'll have something I don't really like, because I love this. Mason jar lineup, it's a dimensions kit. I used the threads that were included. Where am I? I lost my place. Okay, yep, okay, mason jar lineup, there's that. The next one, the two pieces I showed in my video that I did on prepping for framing and to lace are done and back. Here's Octopus's Garden. Now, when the light shines on this just right, there's kind of a tealy green that shows up in the frame. The lights, it's not going to pick up. But I was so thrilled with this frame choice. They had some others that were green, actually green. They were nice colors, but they looked too formal. And I just love this kind of splotchy, no, it's washing out the green. I'm sorry that doesn't show, but here's Octopus's Garden, and this is the piece that I actually laced on the video. So that one's done. And this is part of the Magical Mystery Tour. And I have a page to show you. There's a sale going on, couple sales going on for the Magical Mystery Tour. You can screenshot that. And I'll be posting again to that because I have a finish on Octopus's Garden. This aside here. And the other one that I showed in that video that I did, it's not the one that I laced, but it's the one that I worked on also, is Little Red Chair. And this is from Scarlett House. the Scarlett House. It's stitched 1/2 on 40 count Meadow Rue. I used all the called for overdyed floss except I subbed DMC 310 for Kohl. Love it. Little red chair. And again, my framer did a fantastic job. She's wonderful. Okay, those are out of the way. All right, now I have a little more room here. And as I said, I did one new start when I got to the last day of August. I thought instead of jumping in on my sampler September pieces, I would grab up a start. And I've had this little Halloween one hanging out here from the Winds of Autumn. It's this one, Spell of the Moon, that little pillow there with the owl. Blackbird Designs. Where am I going to stack these? I'll just leave them here. Okay. And I got just a little start on it in that one day. And it only has 3 colors. The black coffee, honey, and I'm not sure, I might have changed the honeycomb, and I'm using a DMC 645. Those are the 3 colors I'm using. So I got a little start on that. When I have time on it, it shouldn't take too long to get that done. Then I got to Sampler September, and my plan for Sampler September is to do 5 by 5, spend 5 days each on 5 different samplers. And I decided not to start a new sampler because I have so many big ones going, and I wanted to get some work done on the ones I have going. So later I will show you a parade of the choices I did not start in September, the new starts. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So I had my plan, my 5 written down, and I just thought, okay, I'm not going to determine the order, just whichever one I pick up is the one I will start with. So I started with Smith Sampler, the Scarlett House. That's a theme you're going to hear a lot, the Scarlett House. Smith Sampler. It's been around, a lot of people are doing that. I'm using the Vicky Clayton silk conversion, and I keep it in this plastic box from Amazon. My friend Wendy gave me this. This is available on Amazon. It's perfect for the Vicky Clayton silks. It's thick enough to hold those bobbins. And when you're done with a thread, how about if you open the front instead of the back? And when you're done with a thread, there's room to roll up your thread and have it in the container with it. So I find this superior to the previous way I was doing it with the previous bobbin holder. So anyway, that's enough on that. So a Smith Sampler. This was my birthday start. I started it in February. And I had the border done down to here, as you see it pretty much, except I did some more down, on this side I did some more. But I had previously the bones of these 2 trees, and that's it. So in the 5 days I did finish that, and I did the bowl. And my friend Christine and I had talked about, you know, she had done it exactly as the pattern did. The letters themselves and the surrounding little stitches are 1/1, and then the rest of the bowl is 1/2. And she had thought, you know, it looks fine on the wall, but when I look at it closely, I wonder, should I have done all the 1/1? And I had thought about that too, Christine, except when I got there, I thought, oh my gosh, this is too much. I'm just doing the 1/1 that the pattern calls for, and I'll do the 1/2 on the rest. That's what I did. So that section is done. I'm not quite halfway, and I am halfway to my birthday. So I'll see if I can give it some extra time as I go along and get this one caught up. So Smith Sampler. The next one I spent 5 days on was Florence Mary Dickinson. This is from Hands Across the Sea. This was an exclusive from Hobby House. I'm stitching it 1/2. Make one pile, Karen, not 3. Okay, I'm stitching it 1/2 on graham cracker, 40 count graham cracker. I just lost it. And I'm using all DMC. Now, I had the bones of the border done all the way around. That was done. And I had some of the outlines of these leaves done. So I had hoped to get half of the border done. I didn't quite make it halfway. And as Brenda of Brenda and the Serial Starter said, that border, you know, you're doing a couple couple stitches, and then you don't want to drag. Well, I was really tempted to drag my thread. I got to tell you on this one, because you do 2 stitches and then you have to end it and then go over to another place and do 2 stitches, and oh my word. Anyway, but I didn't. I think I was good the whole way. I don't think I fell down that rabbit hole. So Florence Mary Dickinson, the colors are beautiful. Can't wait to get to some of the fun stuff in the middle, but I'm an eat your vegetables first kind of person. I want to, you know, get the border done, and or at least don't leave it till last. That's a disaster. So Florence Mary Dickinson, that was my second. Oops, 5 days. I just poked myself with a pin here. I had pinned up that extra fabric, and now that caught. And then I've done 2 days, right? I think just 2 days on this next one. And this is Margaret Hutton, Hands Across the Sea. This was stitched as a class with Queen City Sampler Guild in Cincinnati, and Nicola Parkman was the teacher. There are all kinds of specialty stitches in it. Love it, love it. It's a Scottish sampler. And I'm just about done with the border. I had the border, the green, about 3/4 of the way, and I had some of just the flowers like across the top and down a little way. So I finished the green of the border all the way around. I finished one colorway of the flowers all the way around, and the other colorway I have half done, and I have to do the pink tops for all that color, all the rest of the way around, like from there to there. And then the border will be done, and I can start on the fun stuff. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, once I start a row that has specialty stitches in it, I'm going to do the whole row. So I really get that in my brain, how to do the specialty stitch without having to refer back every time I pick it up. How do you do this one? How do you do that one? So that's my plan. Margaret Hutton, Hands Across the Sea. So that's my progress so far in Sampler September. Okay, so for the rest of the month now, I plan to finish my days on Margaret, and then the next 2 I'm going to be working on are Katharina Adriana Lunison, and I'm going to be working on Anne Gott, and that's my 5x5. I will be having a retreat in Litchfield, Kentucky with Lucy Beam. That'll take 3 days. So that leaves me a few days, I think it's 2 if I do my counting. I think it was a couple days. But, you know, sometimes life happens and you can't stitch one day, or if I have the 2 days available, I will just pick up what I want to work on and work on that. So that finishes out my September. And during September, I had put aside my normal plan of 7 days on Focus Piece and 3 days on Red Sampler. So that will go back into effect in October. So I'll be back on my normal kind of stitching plan when we get to October. And another thing I'm going to be doing at the sewing machine is I'm starting the bag stitch along with Joanna Figueroa at Fig Tree and Company. I showed the kit in my haul section last video, I think it was last video. And she has, you know, made her first blog post on, you know, the tips and how to get started and so forth. And I think those kits are still available if you're interested in that. Comes with 3 bag patterns, all the hardware needed for all 3 bags and the fabrics, and looks like fun. I think I'll learn something about making bags, and I will enjoy that. Okay, so I am ready to show you my kitted up parade, and this is not kits that were purchased as kits. These are things I kitted up. So, and when I took this thing down off the shelf, I thought it was going to make me go over backwards. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's a bag like this. They're in there like that. So we'll go through these, and I'll show you what I have kitted up. And there's so many. I'm so anxious to start every single one of them. When I look at them, I go, I want to do that, I want to do that. But I just have so many going. So we'll go through these one by one. If you like parades, hang around. If not, you can skip forward a bit. Okay, this bag, I have 2 in, actually. These are Hands Across the Sea. These are Georgiana Caroline Williams, and Ann Campion. And when I was at the retreat with Queen City Sampler Guild, Nicola had said these are two good companion pieces because they're only, size-wise, only like a stitch difference in width or length. So I have them in the same bag. I have called for thread, which is 103, what's the number on it? 774. And the fabric I chose that I thought looked exactly like the photo, which is what I always fall in love with, is Cappuccino by hand-dyed Newcastle linen, fat quarter. Oh, yeah, Fiber on a Whim. It's Fiber on a Whim, sorry. Cappuccino. So that's Ann Campion. Why do I say Jane? Ann Campion and Georgiana Carolina Williams. That would have been great for Sampler September, wouldn't it? And I think Sarah's Stitchy Spot is working on Ann. Another one I can't wait to. This is in one of Carrie's project keepers that I made with her pattern. This one, I love. This is from Wishing Thorn. I love the colors on this. Sarah Plummer. Look at those colors. I love it. I wouldn't normally do an angel. I mean, that's not my thing. But I love those colors. And the little people in the corners are cute. So that's another one I would have loved to start. And I have all the DMCs for it. And the fabric I have chosen for it is 32 count raw natural linen by Zweigart. So she's waiting to get started. She's a beauty, Wishing Thorn. Okay, I'm gonna put these in the back so I don't. Okay, and this one, another like project keeper. I got the pattern from Carrie, and I made a double page DMC holder because this one calls for 40 colors in the pattern. They're DMC, so it's, I mean, you know, you don't have to mortgage your house to do it, but anyway. Susanna Lawton. Oh, I love this. To me, it was not the market that just happened, but the last spring. To me, this was the outstanding thing in the whole market. This was the one I just had to have, and I love it, can't wait to start it. And the only reason I haven't started it is because it's of a size that I would put on my scroll rods, but my scroll rods has another project on it, and I don't have additional rods. So until I get the other one done, I can't start her. I suppose I could move a hoop around and around, but I didn't want to do that for this because it's big. Anyway, Susanna Lawton. That's from Queenstown Sampler Designs. And I have all the DMCs, and the fabric I chose, and well, the attic helped me choose it, is Jersey Cream from Legacy. If I had more scroll rods, she would be started. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. Oh, this bag holds a bunch of red sampler patterns. I have some freebies that I can't show you. And I have the Blackbird Ooh La La book in here. And I have Red Letter Day from Teresa the Net in here. I have all kinds of JBW. All kinds of JBW. I have Floral Alphabet. I have her sampler collection 1 and 2, both of them. I have Brenda Gervais. Oh, here's the other one. This is the other JBW. Collection 2. And I have Brenda Gervais Love Notes. I mean, I have all kinds of red things. So when I am done with a red sampler, I just have all kinds of them to go to. But I'm not starting another red sampler at this point. Just go have one on the go. Okay, oh, this one. Okay, this is from the red box, the Words of Wisdom box from Hands Across the Sea. Sarah Burt. Oops, what am I losing here? Oh, my notes of what I needed to order. That's what that was. So I ordered the fabric. I think I got it at Hobby House. I'm sure it was Hobby House. The fabric is called, no, the fabric was Bestitch Me. One more reproduction from Bestitch Me. Beautiful, beautiful. And I got the 103's silk. Just 2 colors in it. So it's not very costly, to kit it up. And that's the big one from the Hands Across, Words of Wisdom box from Hands Across the Sea. She's a beauty. Okay, here's that one. Oh, another. Hands Across the Sea. I want to do this so badly. That shape. I love that shape. Martha Guthrie, 1880. And it doesn't take many colors. I have DMCs in here. I could jump it up to 103s without too much of an investment, but oh, love it. Martha Guthrie. And she has the name of her school on here too. Lady A. Spears School, 1880. And I have Edinburgh linen, what is it called? Winter Moon is the fabric I chose because she looks kind of light. Like that. And then I have the DMCs in here. So, Martha Guthrie, waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay. And, oh my gosh, another one I can't wait to start. Elizabeth Hughes, the Wishing Thorn. I got the flower threads and the fabric. I think I got the fabric from her too. I don't think I bought it on my own. Maybe I did. Let me see. Maybe I did buy the fabric on my own. Yes, I did. This has to be 1, 2, 3 stitch, and it's tin roof. And it's a 36 count because I'll be using the flower thread. And I'll use, I think, 1 strand of the flower thread on that. Move it, I don't have to put it back in there. Okay. Elizabeth Hughes, The Wishing Thorn. They're all going to fall down here. Okay. Okay. JBW. Bluebirds of Happiness. Oh, oh, oh. Bluebirds of Happiness. Isn't it beautiful? She's just beautiful. And I think I have all the threads. And the fabric I got from Keepsakes. I didn't even open it yet. Let me open it here. Ooh, beautiful. What is it called? Atomic Ranch Vanilla Cream. That'll be beautiful. Oops. Beautiful, perfect. Okay. So little time, so little time. They're getting to be quite a mess in here now. Okay, ran out of good bags. Oh, GGR. This is Lady in Red spinning her wool. Look at that. I saw this on Paisley Stitcher's site. Fell in love with it. Grace is the enabler on this one. I think I have it all. I got from the attic. Except I see that I switched out a 310 for a black because I don't spend money on this overdyes on black. But I got the overdyes and I got the fabric from the attic. Well, the fabric is Mayflower Fox and Rabbit. That'll be great color for that. Oh, yes, I want to start that one too. And then there's that whole debate, well, what's the difference if you just start them and have them going, and I don't know. I think I would get heart palpitations if I had too many things going at once that I couldn't touch. So again, what's the difference if I can't touch them because I haven't started them, or if I've started them and can't touch them because I just don't have time? So I don't know. So there you go. Little Deeds, right? The Little Deeds sampler, the Scarlett House. It's a sweet small one. I have the DMCs that I need for that. And the fabric I chose is 36 count natural. And I didn't need a big piece. I wonder where I got this from. Oh, I think this is left from another piece because this is a small one that I can do it. And I think I originally got it from Kitten Stitcher because that looks like her tag. Okay, Little Deeds sampler. That wouldn't take long. Oh, this one. Let no net ensnare me. Another beautiful bird. Let no net ensnare me. 1897 Schoolhouse. Look at that. And that border. Oh, to die for. I have it kitted. I have the Weeks Dye Works I need. They're all in here. They're all in here. The fabric is Fiber on a Whim, I can tell. It's Cappuccino. I think I've used that one before. Cappuccino. It's not quite as yellow as this, but beautiful. Oh, the birds. I'm telling you, the birds have just kind of taken over my heart. Whew, I haven't counted these. There are a lot. Okay, Hands Across the Sea. Harriet Goddard, another of that long shape. It would just be gorgeous on my sampler wall. Just have to get to it. And I have this kitted with DMCs. And what's my fabric? No tag. Maybe it's on the... Anyway, here's my fabric. What is it? What's it say? It just says new, oh, it's platinum, Newcastle platinum. So it's 40 count platinum, sorry. 40 count platinum. I think that's a good color for this one. Harriet Goddard, Hands Across the Sea. Yes, I want to do that one too. Ugh, my bags get so scrunched in here when it's so full. They can't stand up and the corners get all scrunched. Okay, here's one of my RBG bags. ES Spot Motif. I've had this for a while and haven't gotten to starting it yet. I have it kitted. I have the DMCs that I need, and I have a Fabric Flare Even Weave. I wonder why I chose that. I might reconsider, but it's a 36 count. I think this was done on a 36. Is that why I did that? This is done on a 32 count. 2 over 2. See, I'll bet I went up so I could go 1 over 2. That's probably what I did. Anyway, I might reconsider the fabric when I get to it. The ES Spot. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh, another RBG bag. Oh, yes. Brenda Gervais. Hannah Ann Wallace. Hannah Ann Wallace. It's beautiful. The flowers, the bird. Oh, oh, oh. And I have it kitted with all, no, it's a combination of Weeks, Classic, and DMC. My fabric is Bestitch Me Vintage. And I think it's a great color for that. Oh my. Okay, they're really sliding down here. Could be a catastrophe. Okay. Another hands across, no. With the needle and thread, Regina Heibel. Isn't that beautiful? Soft colors. It's beautiful. I have all the DMCs, and my fabric choice is Sand Dollar from Bestitch Me. And I think it's a great color for this. See it? I wouldn't second guess that choice. I like that color. And I'm sure it's a 40 count because that's what I usually go to. 40 count, yeah. So you see, if I had decided I will do one start this September, what would I have done? Oh my goodness. Anyway, oh, more. This bag really got crunched down in there. Oh. Okay. Hands Across the Sea, Mrs. Campbell. Isn't that beautiful? It is so beautiful. And I have combination DMC, no, it's all DMCs. Some I have on a thread holder. I must have had them from another project because normally I don't pre-cut my DMC. And the fabric I chose is Fiber on a Whim Affogato. Here's the picture. This is more brown than this shows. I think at the time I kitted it, I didn't really have a yellowy one. I might reconsider the fabric. I'll see how the threads look laying on it and see what other choices I have. I may have more choices now because this has been put together for a while, waiting to be started. Okay. Another Hands Across the Sea, Margaret Ferguson. Look at that border. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. Fabric I chose is here. What's it called? It's from 123 Stitch, apparently. Cream, Belfast linen cream, 32 count. That's unusual. I don't usually choose 32 count. Did it call for 32 count? Okay, I might have thought for size, but I also have in here a 40 count, which is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is Bestitch Me Vanilla Latte. That's beautiful with that. Okay. So I have to reconsider the size on that one. So this kit is not really ready to go. I have to do some thinking on this one. I even put a dedicated scissor in there for this one. One of my fun flamingo bags, little flamingo pull. Well, it may not all get back in here. Okay, here's an American sampler. Fraser, oops, okay. This is Lucinda Fraser. And it looks like it's a one color when you look at it, but it has 3 colors. It calls for 3 colors. So that surprises me. That surprised me. And this is the fabric I chose for this. In the frame it looks really dark, but on that hoop it doesn't look so dark. And this fabric is Bestitch Me Honey 36 count. Does it call for 36 count? Well, this was stitched on 37 count. So there you go. Oh my. Oops, I just dropped a floss. Don't do that. Okay, I'm going to have to do something here because they're not going to go back in. press these out. Okay. Okay, this is the Scarlett House. Entwined hearts, entwined? Yeah, entwined hearts. I got this the same time. She came out with floral sampler, entwined hearts. What was the other one? There were 3, and I got them right away. They came out at the same time, and I got all 3 of them. What was the third one? You're shouting it at me, I know. It's probably in here. Anyway. And I have the Aztec red fabric for it. And I have Classic Colorworks colors that are called for. And it's in this bright orange Cape Facet bag. Oh my goodness. Now, did I get them back in there? Pattern, fabric, yeah, okay. Okay, Shakespeare's Peddler. Cathcart Colquhoun. Isn't it gorgeous? It's gorgeous. And I have, oh, it's an Aida. That's a surprise. Color is aged, oh, it's 20 count aged paper, so it's equal to a 40 count. I don't know, I might reconsider that choice on this one. And I have all the DMCs. Yeah, I'm thinking I might change that fabric. Oh, Cathcart Colquhoun. Oh, Caroline Amelia. Caroline Amelia Trowel. I've seen this, so many of you have this finished, and it is beautiful. It is just beautiful. And I have, my fabric is 40 count, I don't know, 40 count antique. It's ANT period something, and it's for trowel. So I purchased it, I think it was at Shepherd's Needle in Arkansas, right? They kitted it up for me. The threads and the fabric. Caroline Amelia Trowel with the needle and thread. Oh, I'm gonna have to do some rescue work in this basket, I'll tell you. Okay, here's a small one. I'll be able to whip this one off. Stacy Nash, Rose Cottage Pin Keep. I don't think, I wouldn't finish it as a pin keep. I would frame it. Stacy Nash. I have Confederate Gray. Wouldn't surprise me if that's what it called for, maybe. Yes, it was stitched on Confederate Gray, and that's what I have. And I have the DMC to do that one. Let me get in here. Oh, Ann Kirby. This came from the Hobby House. I'm sure it did. No, it says Needlework Press. Oh, I bought it from Hobby House. That's it. It's Needlework Press. Ann Kirby, 1845. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, and Hobby House. I got it kitted at Hobby House. All the Classic Colorworks. I have a DMC on here for some reason. Maybe that's what they called for, that one. And the fabric is, what's it say? It's whatever they kitted it up with. What did it say they used? It doesn't say what the fabric is. Oh yeah, 40 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit. That's what it is. So that's what that fabric is, because I got it directly from them. So, Ann Kirby. Oh, I want to start it. It's a pretty butterfly bag. Butterfly zipper pull. Oh, the last one. Scarlett House. The Scarlett House. Why do I say Scarlett House? Roses for Ruby. This is the other one. This is the other one that came out at the same time. Roses for Ruby. Holly, Hobbies of Holly, is stitching this one now for her granddaughter named Ruby. Haven't started it yet, Holly. Kick me in the rear, get me going on it. The fabric I have here is 36 count hog bristle. Is that what it called for, 36 count? Yes, it called for, or the model was stitched on 36 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit. So I have that, and I have the DMCs. So again, this is ready to go. Ready to go. Oh. So those were my wonderful choices. And I could not have made a choice. But anyway, they're ready for starts sometime soon. I do have a little bit of haul to share with you. I had Dee Freitag, and she's now going to go in that basket too. Dee Freitag, and I just got, oh, where are they? Oh, it's in my haul because I just ordered the rest of the flosses I needed. So, Dee Freitag. Now, this fabric looks light and I mean darker than the little small that they did from it. The small is stitched on Vintage Country Mocha. And the larger one was stitched on 36 count Cocoa. Well, I couldn't find Cocoa, but I did find Vintage Country Mocha, so that's what I'm going to stitch the big one on. And it'll be like that, apparently, even though it looks much darker here. And I only had a few of the colors to start with, but I ordered the rest, Colorado Cross Stitcher, and that's part of my haul too, that came in. So this is now kitted up. Where is my Colorado Cross Stitcher? Here. So I got the rest of my flosses for Dee Freitag. So she's now kitted up. It's going to go live in that stuffed basket. And also from Colorado Cross Stitcher, I got some more of her chenille. I love her chenille. This is the one the kind I used on the little sewing pillows, the Brenda Gervais sewing pillows. And I got a black because, you know, you can always use black. Halloween. That's that. I got my Fat Quarter Shop Floss Fix of Classic Color Works. That comes every month. I also got a new Sew Line fabric marker pencil. I can't find mine. I have the container with the refills, but it is gone. Anyway, it's not in the cup that I keep by my long arm. It's not by my sewing machine. It's not in my marking tools in my cupboard. I don't know. Anyway, so I had to get a new pen. So I got that. And they had, well, let me talk about this later. Okay. These colors, I hope I wrote down what these go to. They're weeks. Oh, I know, because I thought they were, some I have in other projects that were getting low, and I thought as long as I was filling out an order, I would get, what are there, 3 in here? I think I have 3 different ones. I also got a paper, foundation paper for Woven Star. I have an idea for something to do with that. Paper piecing, I've gotten over my fear of paper piecing. And they had, Fat Quarter Shop had a Labor Day sale. And fabrics, I got some Blackbird fabric they had. Rhubarb. And I think this one's called Ginger. Got a couple yards of each. So more project bags in the future on that. That's a very good price. At the grocery store. Our store is doing remodeling, so there's just all kinds of things that are showing up on clearance. It's Meijer. If you're in the Midwest, you know Meijer stores. Anyway, on clearance, this Fisker circle cutter, it'll cut up to an 8-inch circle. That was the clearance, plus I got another 25% off, so it was a really good deal. And I have 2 round boxes waiting to be painted for finishing. And then I can cut the circle top without being, oops, jaggedy with scissors and stuff. So I'm anxious to use this. I have to download the full instructions from Fiskars on how to do it. Almost to the bottom. My Country, La-Di-Da. I've loved this one. It was filling out another order. Now I don't remember. I've ordered from several places here and I don't remember which one it came from. But you know, you don't just order a pattern all alone. And then this one, I don't think I showed this yet, but I am waiting to get perforated paper. There's an Etsy shop who carries 18 count perforated paper in antique brown, but she's out of it and she's going to message me when she has it, and then that's what I intend to stitch Amelia's bird on. This is Amelia's bird? Mary Amelia's bird, yeah. So that's a perforated paper project up and coming. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And then we're going to talk about our celebration. Sorry, let me clear this stuff. I'm not throwing it on the floor. I do have a crate. Okay. Okay, so 4K, so many comments, so many wonderful comments about my 2-year anniversary, Flossiversary, and reaching 4K. It was so nice. And I have 3 bags to give away. Number 1 is this Blackbird fabric, and the winner is Christine Curry. I can't read backwards. 7553. Christine, congratulations. A bag. I'll do some zipper pull thing on it before I send it. And then I have 2 that were made Teresa Kogut fabric. So I have 2 winners here. And even if you put, and so I was only looking for numbers 1 and 2, but some people put 1, 2, and 3. It didn't matter. You were entered for both of these anyway because you also had the 2. Okay, Geraldine Jans, and the number, is it 9476? Geraldine Jans. And the last one goes to Mary Lee Baird, I can't remember backward, 8708. Mary Lee Baird, 8708. Well, congratulations to the 3 of you. I'm so happy for you. Please email me. Do not put your address in a comment on the internet. Don't do that. Email it to me at my email address, which is in the notes down below. And as soon as I get that and I get a little something cutesy on the zipper pull, I'll get those sent out to you all. Thank you so much. So we'll be doing some more of this stuff because I want to get to 5K by the end of the year. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps my channel. I appreciate it very much. And then we'll be doing some more funsy stuff. Now, I'm going to go on to quilts. And before I move, I'm going, oops, I'm going to trip on this stuff. Before I move, I'm going to share some pictures that were shared with me from Sandy. She also stitched Patchwork Barn from Laundry Basket Quilts. Now, I'm going to see if this works. I tried this out before. Okay, look. Let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger here for you to see. And she stitched it with the Scrappy. And I'll tell you, if I had seen that, I think I would have gone that way. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at those colors. It is just gorgeous. And the next picture, hang on, details here. Okay, look. She put a barn quilt on her barn. Genius! Why didn't I think of that? And I don't know if you quilted this yourself or if you had a long armor do it, but oh my goodness, the quilting is phenomenal. Phenomenal. You better enter that in some kind of a fair or contest or something. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing those with me and us. So, I had no imagination and didn't even think to do that as a Scrappy. And I thank you so much, Sandy. That was wonderful. So now I'm going to unhook the camera. We'll do some closer look behind, and then we'll walk over to the long arm and I'll show you where I am on my Patchwork Barn quilt. And I think I can close the computer, but because I'm done with my notes. Okay, here we go. Let me move this stuff All I needed to do was take a tumble on camera. Like Linny did in her video when she fell off the stool. Oh, don't mean to laugh at you, Linny. You took that very well. Okay, so this quilt, let me grab the pattern here. Okay, this quilt is Prairie Pines, and the pattern is from Thimbleberries. And I've looked all over the pattern, and I cannot find a copyright year on it. Nowhere is there a date. But I completed this in 2013, but I started it, in 2013 we were here in Kentucky, but I know I started it in Michigan, and it wasn't even the last house we were in, it was the one before that. So I started it quite a while before. And it's scrappy, did it scrappy. I did it, it was an experiment of quilting on my domestic machine. I watched lots of videos, especially Angela Walters. Watched her videos on how to quilt on a domestic machine. I never got the hang of it. Because to me it was like moving the paper under the pen instead of moving the pen on top of the paper, which is why I like the long arm. So I'll do some closer shots here. But I do love the pattern. And this hangs in our bedroom. I love this one. I look at the quilting and go, yeah, see, that's why I have a long arm now. So, okay, so the trees are all different. And I just made up kind of a little swing to give the idea of pine trees. And purposely changed backgrounds on every block. Some of these fabrics I've seen in other quilts I've made. Now, if we look closely at the stitching, I don't know if you can pick that. I know it's going to wash it out. As soon as I do that, it's going to wash it out. But when I look at the stitching, there are places where if I move fast, of course, the stitches are bigger. And then if I slow down, the stitches are smaller. And I hate that about domestic quilting because I never got the rhythm. And on my long arm, I can do a stitch regulator and it'll make the machine, keep the size consistent. So I was experimenting feathers. That was all new to me. They're not too bad. But the method I was using has a lot of thread buildup in this stem, which to my eye now, it bothers me, but that's the way it was done then, I guess. Experimented with different shapes. This is a hook feather coming up here. And again, there's a lot of thread buildup here that I don't like. I didn't really have a very good feather shape. I didn't get the knack of having a nice curve, like half a heart coming back to the stem. I didn't get the thing about making a nice cleavage between each one that really gives you the beautiful, elegant looking feathers. And so anyway, so I did it and it made my decision. Okay, on this quilt, you see this sash, it's probably a 2-inch finish. I would never leave that unquilted now. I didn't quilt that at all. Of course, the batting will say you don't have to quilt. It can be 4 inches apart or something. I would never leave that kind of big space again in something. That would be quilted somehow. I did these little curly feathers in the corners. That was a specific thing that she showed. You came in and did a twirly in and then did feathers back out. Anyway, never really caught on to that either. So this is Prairie Pines, Thimbleberry Quilts. It's a wall hanging. I've never blocked it. And I can see that, but I don't care. It just hangs in my bedroom. I love it. I love the colors. That's what I love. And when you stand back, it looks fine. The feathers are fine. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you is I did finish the piecing of Tannenbaum. It's all finished, top to bottom. Top to bottom. It's going to come down now and be put in a dust-proof bag on my shelf, and it's going to marinate in my brain until I decide how I'm going to quilt it. My go-to is feathers a lot of the time, but okay, well, here's one thing, potential thing I see. This has so many pieces, and I can see myself just quilting, 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 and this being very heavily quilted because of all the small pieces, which is fine, but then you can't have just loose and hardly anything out here. It won't, you don't want it to be heavily quilted one place and then looser. You know, you want it to be kind of evenly dense. So I've got to think about how I'm going to do that. Anyway, so it'll be something custom. And I wonder, do I want to make it modern? Do I want it to be traditional? And of course, do I want feathers? I love feathers, but I don't know. I'll see. Anyway, that's going to go in a bag. It's going to come down now, and then when I'm ready to quilt it, when I've made some kind of a decision, I'll bring it out and get it on the machine. So that's Tannenbaum and Prairie Pines. And now we'll walk over to the quilting machine. I do have these mats on the floor. You see those? We got those when our grandkids were babies, and we have hardwood floors here. So I had those so they could have a soft place to play on. And then when I got my machine, you see these casters? I don't know, can you see? They're up on casters. That raises my machine by 4 inches. I'm short. It makes it hard for me to see. So my husband came up with this idea of stacking these, and it does get me up a little bit more, and it makes a difference. So anyway, here's barn quilt. So far, I started at the top and did stitch in the ditch. You can see across here I've stitched around every block, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And as I was coming down, you remember I stopped at the barn. I did the whole barn. I showed that on Instagram. And I got to the bottom, and then I started working my way back up. So now I'm doing the 6-inch blocks as I'm going up, and I'm doing feathers as I'm going up. Now you'll see I've drawn in my spine because I want these to be evenly. You'll see they go by, these are 6-inch blocks, so it goes there to there, there to there, there to there. So I drew a template, and so then when I get this rolled, I think I have to do a couple more and I can roll it, and then get a go at the feathers again as far as I can go. And then I just take an iron. This is Friction pen, and the iron will take it off. Now, I do not use Friction pen on dark fabrics. No, never. But on any lights or prints or something is fine. I wouldn't use it on these blues, these dark blues. So, okay, so here's where I am. And yes, I have my ripper available. Do you see that? Yeah. My straight ruler, my little BFF from Quilted Pineapple. Love that one. I had another handy quilter. Oh yeah, here's the handy quilter. It's clear, you can't see it. But it gives you can't see that, can you? It has a round edge, and it has a square edge, and it gives me another curve. You can't see. It's clear. Anyway, so I'm working my way back up. I'm working my way back, filling in all around these as far as I can reach. I've done this one. I want to do a couple more, then I'll work up. So that's where I am. I'm probably, I know I'm 2/3, maybe I'm 3/4. So that's the status on that one, and that's where I am, guys. And I will continue with Sampler September. I have a retreat coming up. Now my next floss tube is not going to be on Friday. It's going to be on the Thursday before. It's the 27th. I think it's 27th, because that's the day I leave for the retreat. So I won't, on Friday I'll be at the retreat, so I'm doing it a day early. So look for me a little early, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.